This week on the Late Night Internet Marketing Podcast, we're going to talk about the importance of dedicating yourself to be a lifetime learner. What does that mean? How do you do it? And what do you need to watch out for? All this and more on the Late Night Internet Marketing Podcast.
The Late Night Internet Marketing Podcast.
You've been working for somebody else, but you want a business to run yourself. You want to know how to start and where to begin. Can you get out your comfort zone, my friend? Yes, you can do it right when it's late at night. At the end of the day, your dreams burning inside. So keep it up and you will find that you're building your business one night at a time.
And now, broadcasting late at night from a little studio in the big state of Texas, your host, Mark Mason.
Hey, how is everyone doing? I am your host, Mark Mason, coming to you from the little studio in Dallas, Texas. The weather's cooled off here slightly. We were running 110 degrees the last couple of weeks, but we got a little break from the heat. We got a little rain. Things are looking up. We're headed straight into fall. We've got kids in sports tryouts. Things are looking really fantastic for the new school year. All is great here in the state of Texas. And with the start of school, I've also been getting out of summer mode and getting more into fall productivity mode, where we're in more of a schedule. We've got more of a pattern, we've got more regular behavior around the house. The kids are out of the house. Of course, most of the time when they're out of the house, I'm actually at my day job, but it's still just a more regular pattern, and they're already learning some new, exciting things in school. And with them back in school, it's gotten me thinking about the importance of committing yourself as an entrepreneur to this idea of being a lifetime learner. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Now, let me tell you what really brought this home for me. Over the pandemic, I fell out of one of my most critical habits, one of the habits that just was central to my productivity, and I didn't even realize it. And that was the habit of listening to podcasts. Prior to the pandemic, every day I'd drive 30 minutes into work and 30 minutes home, and that was my time. Sometimes when the traffic was bad, it was more like 45 minutes, but that was my time to spend time listening to podcasts. And rather than listening to podcasts for entertainment, I would listen to podcasts that would allow me to grow through self-development, some kind of content that had me learning and moving either myself or my business forward. That was dedicated learning time for me. And I've done that really for the last decade, spent time listening to podcasts, consuming content that helped me grow my brand, my business, my knowledge about the things that I do online, and gave me a stronger ability to help people. What I didn't realize was, as I started to taper off from that learning, I really was kind of killing the input pipe to the things that really drove me in my business. It was a really interesting thing that I've now observed, and that is that once I stopped putting stuff in my mind that was relevant to my business and my own personal growth, my mind started focusing on other things, and many of those things weren't related to business. And that wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but as a side hustler, not having that business top of mind really started to allow me to go longer periods of time without thinking about my business. And you know, it's one of those strange things I've discussed on the show many times. When you think about things and when you feed information to your subconscious mind will prompt you and help you solve problems and get things done. It's those great ideas you have when you're brushing your teeth or you're in the shower and you're not thinking about anything else, and those ideas just come. Ideas about new things to do, ideas about ways to creatively solve problems. But when you stop feeding your mind great podcast information, great books, great stuff that's relevant to the things that you want to make progress on, that progress definitely slows. And so because of this, it's apparent to me that it's really critical for entrepreneurs to be taking in a steady stream of content. Now the question is, well, what are the habits or traits or characteristics that we can have that will make us more likely to be successful lifetime learners? The ones that really resonated with me were things like lifetime learners read daily. Now, I tend to listen to podcasts more than read. And when I do read, I actually read audiobooks from someplace like audible.com, which is absolutely fantastic. But I try to consume some content like that almost every day. The other thing that lifetime learners typically do is they take courses, especially when they need to learn something new to move their business forward. They're consuming content and they're open to this idea of taking courses. They also have a passion for making progress. Lifetime learners want the progress and they're willing to do what's needed to get it. They have that drive towards passionate progress and they're seeking that progress. And one of the ways that they know they can make progress is by learning how to do the things that they need to do. And that's another thing that you find when you read about lifetime learners is that they know what they need to do because they challenge themselves with SMART goals. They use the SMARTer system for setting up goals, and you'll commonly find among lifetime learners that they're people who set goals. And if you don't know what your goals are right now for the rest of the year, I'd like to challenge you to set some. The year's not over. And if 2022 is not a win for you, if it's not clear that this is going to be a great year, there's still plenty of time left. Heck, I think 18 weeks maybe, or 19 weeks where you could make progress on your business. That's an enormous amount of time that you could win if you just set some great goals for the rest of 2022. The other thing that you read about lifetime learners is that they embrace change. They're ready to change. And when they learn something, they're not afraid to put it into action. And I think that's the other characteristic of lifetime learners that we often hear about is that they're not afraid to fail. And I see so many times in entrepreneurship, people fail to launch a course or they fail to hit publish on that blog post because they're really afraid of what people might think, which is another way of saying they're afraid of failure and the criticism that comes with that failure. So to be a lifetime learner means that you may have these traits, but if you want to be a lifetime learner and you're not sure how to generate the passion for learning, I'm sure that if you work on these traits, that can make you a better version of yourself by being a better lifetime learner. Now, here's one caution, and this is a very important caution I've given many times on the show before. It is a cautionary piece of advice that I learned from my good friends Jeremy Franson and Jason Van Orden years and years ago. You should employ a technique called just-in-time learning. Whatever it is that you're learning about, that you're spending time learning about, select things to learn about that are relevant to what you're doing now. And my favorite example is if you are thinking about building a course on a particular topic, but you haven't built the course yet, and you're going to put it into a system like Kajabi, and then you're going to create an evergreen funnel, and then you're going to drive Facebook ads to that funnel, but you haven't yet created the course, don't go off learning about Facebook ads. You have nothing to sell yet. It's not time for you to learn about Facebook. It's time for you to learn more about the content of your course, or maybe at most how to create course material through the use of video and transcription, stuff like that. That's the thing that you're doing now. That's what you need to be learning about. Don't go learn about things that are far, far off in the future. All you're going to do is distract yourself. So, what do we know? We know that being a lifetime learner is absolutely key to being a successful entrepreneur. It can help you in your entrepreneurial journey. It can help you focus. It can help you stay motivated. It can help move you forward. We know some traits that we can work on embodying so that we can be a better lifetime learner. And we know the one caution is to not get in the weeds and spend a bunch of time learning about stuff that you don't need to know right now. Thanks so much for listening this week. And you don't have to just listen anymore. You can see this very episode on YouTube. Just go to latenightim.com/YouTube. It'll take you straight to my channel. You'll see my smiling face there, and you'll see the video version of this episode. And I think you might like it, especially if you're a video person, because we do a little editing and we make it look nice just for you. So go check it out. Again, that's latenightim.com/YouTube. And if you make it over there and you can hit the subscribe button, I'd consider that like a personal favor. And better yet, if you want to leave a comment, I reply to each and every comment on YouTube. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Ciao.
You can do it right when it's late at night.
You've been listening to the Late Night Internet Marketing Podcast.
Be sure to visit LNIMpodcast.com today to leave feedback for Mark. Download special bonus content, access the show notes, and more. See you there.
Until then, go and make some great progress on your internet business, one night at a time.
Business one night at a time.
So super crazy around my house right now. So Zach, my oldest, he's a sophomore in high school. He is going through tryouts right now, trying to make the junior varsity baseball team at his high school. He goes to the largest high school in the state of Texas, which is over 6,000 kids in this high school. So it's super competitive, and he's doing great, but you're not on until you're on. You know, until coach tells you you made the team, you're not on the team. And this, of course, is just the fall team. He'll have to go through tryouts again in the spring to make the final cuts for the real baseball team. And Morgan, who's just now in middle school, is for the first time going through her first tryouts ever as she tries to get on the middle school volleyball team. So we're doing a lot of work. Things are very exciting around here, and I'm really proud of them because they're working their butts off. They are also lifetime learners. Right now, they're learning some life lessons about how, in order to accomplish things, you need to do some work. Ciao.